Good morning, everyone. Day 31. I'm up early. It's before 6. It's between 5:30 and 6 right now. Long 12 miles today if I want to get out of this range. This is got the worst mile and a half on the AT in it. So should be an interesting day. I'm gonna do my best. That's why I'm up early. Do my best to get through it. 12 miles doesn't sound like a lot, but when there's a lot of downhill and it's really treacherous downhill, that I think I said this last night, it really takes the wind out of my sails. Downhill's my worst. These guys boogie down these downhills and it's like, dude, one wrong slip and you're down for good. Your hike's over. I'm not taking that risk, so it really takes me a long time to get down the hills. I stop, evaluate, and take the best course of action. So if you see videos after today, you know I made it. Anyway, I was talking to some of the guys that were around me last night, and they were saying it's not that bad. A lot of people, they overblow it. It is tough, but it's not like people die there or anything. So anyway, I will talk to you later. I'm gonna get to it. Okay, hope you guys are doing good. You know, nothing worse than having a really tough section of trail. A lot uphill and then a lot of downhill. And you gotta carry an extra 8 pounds of water because there's no water source for almost 10 miles. I'm fully cameled up. I drank a whole liter of water just sitting there. I've got 3.5 liters. Actually almost 4 liters with my other small bottle. I'm over 4 liters, so yeah, carrying the extra weight up the hill, not fun. So I don't know if it's 8 pounds. Oh, I forgot how many liters in a gallon. Gallon of water is 8 pounds, so I'm close. So I'm sure Randy will point it out to me. Well, I'm headed uphill, so if I'm out of breath, sorry. I will say one thing. I've fallen into somewhat of a semi-tramily that I've been with for about a week now. We're all flip-flopping each other each day. Or I'm running into them, they're all zeroing the same time I am. That kind of stuff. Guys named Cyborg, Sherpa Mike, BFG, Pacer, who else? Senior, Blueberry. So I've sort of fallen in with that group. We're all, and the funny thing is I'm the young one, trail age, compared to all those guys. I think the minimum all those guys has is 900 miles, almost 1,000 miles. Some of them have over 1,600 miles, well, actually over 1,900 miles. So I'm feeling pretty good that my timing has been pretty good to hang with those guys. Mostly every day I pass them up in the morning and they pass me up in the afternoon around lunchtime, and eventually I catch back up to them. So I'm the slow and steady, although my name is Hopper, referencing a rabbit. I am definitely not a rabbit on this trail. I am the tortoise. I am slow and steady, yet I'm making the same amount of miles. So I'm good with that. It's sort of cool though. It'll suck though. All of that goes away when we hit Katahdin here in a little over 200 miles, almost 300 miles. But that's the way it goes. That's what Tramley does.
You know, people drop off, people finish, people flop. Yeah, every one of these guys are either going back to Harper's Ferry or they're all done with the trail. So that'll put me back on an island again. And I'll probably catch up to those other southbounders, I think. I'm on some slippery rocks here, so I'm going to stop. So anyway, I thought I'd fill you in on that. I don't know if I said it back then. Talk about what cameling up is. I don't know if I said camel up. Camel up is when you get to a water source, there's a while before the next water source. So you drink as much water as you can stomach, and then you refill all of your containers, and you hump all that water. That's called cameling up. That way you can make it to the next water source without running out. I've had twice I've run out of water with more than 5 miles to go. It is not a good experience. And I noticed the next day. So, from what I understand, what people have told me, and just what I know from my past history, what you drink today is what you sweat tomorrow, because your body is absorbing all that water and then it's working its way through your muscles and your joints, and your joints need to be lubricated by that water. And you can definitely, those 2 days that I ran out of water for more than 5 miles, the next day I didn't do any more than 10 miles and I struggled. So it's really important how important water is, whether you're thirsty or not. I still don't buy into the whole drink 10 gallons a day or 5 gallons a day. Absolute, you have to do that. I disagree with that. I think you should drink when you're thirsty, because your body says, I need more water. A lot of people disagree with that, saying if you're thirsty, then you're already dehydrated. But at the same time, I'm constantly peeing, and it's clear. So if that's happening, I know I'm getting enough water. And you know, the number one telltale sign that you're dehydrated is your lips. Your lips get dried out. I mean, other than me licking my lips all the time and drying them out, I don't have that issue. So, like I said, I don't automatically drink a gallon or 2 gallons or 6 liters or 8 liters a day. I drink it as I need it, as I feel I need it. When I'm thirsty, I drink. And it works for me. So, and I get concerned, if I got 5 miles to go and I got a liter of water, I'm good. I feel comfortable because I can make, a liter. I can make it with that liter, because usually I'll drink a liter while I'm sitting at that water source, so I still got that liter as a backup. So I got 2 liters for 5 miles in me, or I got a liter on me and a liter in me. So that usually works for me pretty good. Now, if it's over 5 miles, I'll fill up all my containers. Just because of running out with 5 miles to go is not good. So anyway, that's my story about cameling up. I'm still climbing. Well, goodbye, New Hampshire. We're almost, I can't say that I'll be sad to see you go. So I just ran into Sobo, hiker called Swat, 66 years old, out here on the AT. He did a flip-flop. He started down in Springer, got off for a month, and went up to Duncannon, PA, and then he just flopped back up to, Katahdin. He's on his way down south now. He's on the last leg of the Triple Crown. So he did the CDT and the PCT already. He's on the last leg, which is the Appalachian Trail. Very cool to talk to him. I talked to him a little bit about the CDT. He's doing the ECT this year also. So he thinks once he gets back down in Duncannon, he doesn't know if the weather's if he's gonna be too early to go down to Key West. But I guess he started at Cypress and did all of the Florida Trail and came up and everything. So he said he thinks it's timing will not be right for doing the Key West. So he's not sure what he's going to do yet. But good for him, he's finishing his Triple Crown. So I talked to him about the CDT a little bit. And I told him that I had intentions of trying to get the Triple Crown done. My only concern was going up into Grizz country with by myself. He goes, man, don't let that stop you. He goes, I did it by myself. I was never hiking with anybody else. Said I had bear spray, but I never even saw a bear track, let alone seen a Grizz. He goes, I didn't hear of anybody seeing any while I was up there. He goes, don't let that stop you. He goes, that's the biggest. He goes, I mean, the chance is always there that you encounter one, but he goes, so many people hike that area up there that don't encounter grizzlies. He goes, don't even think about that. He goes, and you'll probably meet up with a couple guys that are hiking alongside you anyway. So he really got my hopes back. I still am on the quest, and I thought about this. You know, once I finish the AT, I think I'm gonna change and see how I feel, see how it's going, keep going, you know, all that stuff. I have no intentions of stopping. And maybe just get into, instead of, you know, ECT or whatever, putting that on my title, just the quest for the Triple Crown. It would be cool to just embark on that and just absolutely dedicate myself to doing that. So, and that puts me hiking into 2022. With the craziness in the world, staying away from the world is probably a good idea at this time anyway. So anyway, it's just the enthusiasm. It's early in the morning and I meet this guy and he's just full of enthusiasm and really in fit shape. He talked very intelligently about the trails and all that. So you got my interest peaked, man. It's exciting. It's very exciting being out here and meeting these people and experiencing what they're experiencing and talking to them and learning about the trail and the trails and what they've experienced and what they like, what they don't like. And man, every day you learn something new that you didn't know, or you learn something different or whatever. It's a great experience out here, a great group of people. You know, the stigma of the hikers, you know, young college kids tearing up the trail and everything, I really haven't experienced that. For the most part, I really haven't. A little bit here and there when I was on the long trail. A lot of day hikers and a lot of, people out on the long trail. But for the most part, all the thru hikers I've met, man, a good group of folks, level-headed, doing the right thing, leave no trace, all of that stuff. So it's being a good experience. It is a good experience. Well, here it is, Mount Success. New Hampshire's last ditch effort to kick our asses. But I gotta say, I made it up to the top of this last mountain by 8:30. So I'm happy with that. Good view up here. I think I'm gonna have breakfast up here. Fuel up before I do this big nasty downhill. So the fun begins. Yep, this is me here, and I gotta go up that. Apparently this isn't even close to the worst part. I gotta tell you, it's amazing the different perspectives that people have out here on the trail, and the attitude, opposite attitudes, and the pessimism versus the optimism. When I talked to that guy, I was talking about the SWAT. He's like, yeah, it'll probably take you about this long to get through the Mahoosuc Arm, and then another hour and a half to get through the Mahoosuc Notch. He goes, it's rough, but you can do it. He goes, if you get stuck about 10 miles down the trail, if you get stuck where you need to stop for the night, you just didn't make it through. He said there's some campsites up there, some some stealth sites up there, no problem. He said, but you should be able to make it through. I'm like, great, thanks. You know, the optimism is there. He just went through it. So another guy just came through, Sobo. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to talk bad about anybody. I just want to give you his perspective. And we start talking a little bit. You know, it's always one of those, you stop, you talk about the trail, what you're getting ready to go through. He asks the same thing, you know. So he starts telling me, he goes, you'll never make it through. I mean, the doom and gloom. There's no freaking way you'll make it. He goes, you need to stop up here. It's too late in the day. And like I think it's 9 o'clock or 9:30, something like that. He says, you'll never make it all the way through. He said, there's a good spot up here about 5 miles that you really should stop at so that you can make it through tomorrow. He goes, because there's no place to camp after that. It's rocky and it's rooty and there's no stealth sites and all that. And SWAT just told me, oh yeah, there's stealth sites up there. So he's absolutely convinced that, oh, there's no way anybody could make it through this stretch in one day. And I guess a bunch of guys do it. All kinds of people do it. Everybody does it just about. Some people just, I'm gonna wait. But it's amazing the different perspectives and just the way people look at things. Man, totally opposite of the guy just before him. So it's funny. I don't know if I'll make it. I'm not that concerned about making it through. It would be nice just to get it over with. But if I don't make it, I don't make it. I'll find a spot later and rest, and then tomorrow I'll go through the rest. So, but I'm not hung up on it, man. If I go by this guy, well, I'm stopping in 5 miles. So anyway, sorry, not trying to be negative, just trying to point out how vastly different people see things. Oh, I forgot. I just heard baseball season started. I didn't know they were going to have a season. And they said they were playing 60 games. How the hell can you have a baseball season only 60 games? Somebody's going to hit 400. How are they going to do that? Are you going to even have enough games? Let's see, 60 games. I guess you could get enough at-bats. Are they going to lower the amount of at-bats to qualify for stuff? Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, don't you have to have like 150 at-bats? I guess that's feasible. 4 bats, we'll say average 3 at-bats per game. That's 180. Man, are they going to lower the amount of at-bats that you have to? Wow, that's going to be interesting. Anyway, just found that out. Didn't know. Go figure. Someone who's afraid of heights, this was not an easy climb for me. And if you look down there over to the left, that's where I came from. That's a sheer rock wall with some cracks in it that you have to, I don't know, what do you call it, free solo up. You literally have to climb up the face of the rock with your hands and feet in these little cracks. Man, crazy. And then you come up this old rickety wooden ladder. You're up over the ledge up here. I mean, the views are great, but getting up here, whew, look at this. Still gotta climb up those rocks. Let me tell you, and I'm not even at the hard part. I'm seriously, this is still the easy part. It's crazy. Well, folks, say hello to Maine. Sorry, I'm bouncing around a lot, I guess. Well, I will say one thing for the northeast up here. The views are spectacular. Big lake down there. Well, the views just keep getting higher. I think I can get almost a 360 here. This is the next peak up. I don't remember what the name of this one is. Boy, you can see a long ways. So that last video I took from that peak right there. So I just climbed all the way down and back up to this one. Whew. Hello everyone, day 31. Just got in my tent. We a bunch of people here at the shelter right now. We only went 10 miles today. Everybody wanted to go through the notch pretty much together tomorrow instead of tonight. Some people are going to go tonight, and everybody said it's with the safety in numbers. Because so there's a mile and a half to get to what they call Mahoosic Notch, and then Mahoosic Notch is 1 mile long, and it is classified as the hardest mile on the AT. It is just technical rock climbing. Literally just hands and feet on boulders, climbing up and down boulders. So I'll try to video some tomorrow. It's pretty dangerous. I probably won't get much. I might show you video of where I'm going, but during it I can't do it. It's probably, I'll see. Then after that, there's an extreme downslope that goes, I think it's 1,900 feet in a mile or something to that effect. Really ridiculous. So, and it's all more rock climbing, but it's down the side of the mountain this time. The notch is like a jagged edge that you're going across, jagged rocks all the way across with some slope. There's slope, but you're still going across the rocks on a slope.
coming down from the notch, it's called the Mahusik arm, where you come across this big jagged edge, and then you have to come down that drastic drop over smooth boulders, that kind of stuff. So it's only a total of 8 miles tomorrow. Only a total of 8 or 9 miles tomorrow to get down the Grafton Notch. But it is a highly technical day, so so I'll get down to the bottom and find some stealth site, because there's no campsite down the Grafton Notch, but there's always stealth sites in water at the bottom of those notches. So everybody got here just dying of thirst. It was 10 miles with no water. I carried, like I said, almost 4 liters, 3.5, almost 4 liters. And I was probably the one that carried the most, and I still ran out. Everybody else ran out. Everybody ran out of water. There's no water up here, so luckily where we're at now, this shelter has tent sites, bear box, and water. So everybody's got water now again. It's a mile and a half to the notch, like I said, and I knew I wouldn't make it. I know the mile and a half just getting to the notch would have taken me almost 2 hours, because how drastic it is. Some of those guys would have made it in less, but the notch itself it's an hour and a half no matter what, and it's only a mile long. So that's how hard it is. Anyway, that's tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. By the time you guys see this, I'll be done with it. So anyway, that's about it. Feet are good, no swollen, everything's good. Trusted my shoes a little more today, and I was able to climb straight down the rocks, so that was good. They're not sliding, it's not wet, so they weren't sliding today, so that was good. And I think that's about it. I guess that's it. I will talk to you tomorrow. Hope you guys are safe. And that's the story.